So, looking at the community, just looking at the growth of IIIF Discuss, IIIF Slack, and Twitter. So IIIF Discuss, we're up to over 1,000 members, compared to about 800 in Washington last year, and down to 600, nearly 700 in the Vatican. So you can see things are steadily progressing. But you can also see that a lot of our communication has moved over to Slack. And if you go to the IIIF website, you can log into that, and it's free to everyone. And you can see the growth numbers are over to 1,000 people in Slack. And it's really kind of active discussion with people discussing different issues and sharing experience. And then also looking at Twitter, which has also increased massively. I think probably down to Josh being on board and being more active on the tweets. But we're up to 1,600 people following us on Twitter. So it's steady but good growth. We also have monthly community calls. If you go to the IIIF website, you'll see a link to all the different calls that we run in the community. And every month there's a community call where we invite people to present on different subjects or to demo their latest developments. And we do them around certain different types of themes. So we've had a Wikipedia and IIIF theme, a IIIF and SEO, particularly looking at how we increase the use of these JavaScript viewers and make our content available to Google and others. We've had one on crowdsourcing and artificial intelligence. We've had one around looking at institution discovery, so how do you make it available in your catalogue? What's the best practice for that, or your digital asset management system? We also had a great one on guided viewers, which included the COG app guided viewers, which shows you kind of around the collection with annotations. And then the most recent one was on viewers, so looking at Mirador 3 and the latest developments in UV and other viewers. As well as the community call, we also have community groups, and there's a list here, and they're very welcoming and would love you to join. So we have 3D, archives, manuscripts, museums, newspapers, outreach, and software development. And I've asked each of the groups to provide me a couple of slides to tell me the latest progress. So the first one is the 3D community group, and is Ed here? So he is around. I'll get him to give you a wave later. But the 3D community group started before Washington. It's a really active group, and they meet monthly, demoing different aspects of 3D, really looking to see the process of how this potentially become a IIIF standard in the future. But at the moment, it's a community group just sharing experience between the different people. It is looking for a new chair. So if you're interested in 3D, have a chat to either IIIF staff or Ed. And there is a set of 3D themed presentations which are on the last session tomorrow, and I think they're going to organize kind of a small unconference after that. So if you're interested in 3D, please go to those sessions tomorrow. The next group is the Archives Community Group. This is the newest group, and this came out of discussions in Washington. So in Washington, we realized there was a big archival community, and we wanted a community group to be able to share experience. And this formed last year, and it's been some great meetings. So they now meet bi-monthly, so every 2 months, and the calls have revolved around themes of access, crowdsourcing, transcriptions, and how to generate manifests, and how to reflect the archival hierarchy in IIIF manifests and collections. And they've also organized outreach events and meetups at various conferences. And there's an archives focus session, again, the last thing tomorrow. So the Manuscript Group, so you can see there's a bit of competition here. This is the oldest group. They moved to quarterly calls, demonstrating new in progress and mature projects. They run workshops, and there's some great new initiatives in the manuscript domain, which has really been kind of the founding domain with IIIF, although we've now extended to lots of others. And also looking at AI progress for segmentation, and there are multiple sessions spread throughout the conference on manuscripts and IIIF. On the Museum Community Group, this is a monthly call, really active. We get to see loads of demos, discussions on new viewers, new implementations. They're really quite closely related with a lot of museums conferences, and they organize meetup sessions and collaborate on panel sessions. And also they say that there is a museum session tomorrow, coolness guaranteed. So I'll put that out there. Just to announce the IIIF enabled collections for the museum community. There's a list there. Mint Museum, National Gallery, SFO, Smithsonian, Chester Beatty, University of Toronto, the Science Museum, and also the Vanguard, so the early implementers of IIIF, and many are involved in the IIIF Museum Group. And their focus is to map the IIIF Museum collection space, looking at what people are making available, and also to encourage interoperability between the different institutions. The newspaper community group, we've been working with vendors like Viridian and OCLC to ensure that newspapers are available in IIIF. There's a great Samvera project which is nearing completion by the Boston Public Library and the University of Utah. The Europeana Newspapers is another great newspaper site, and also OpenOni, which is an open source newspaper management software. And we've had a big input in the text granularity group, which you'll hear about later in the technical updates. And we're also looking at how we can correct OCR and Alto through annotations. And we're also looking for an additional co-chair. And the newspaper session is tomorrow morning. The outreach, you'll see if you're on Slack that Julian has been chasing everybody to mention that we've got a newsletter, and the deadline is this Friday. So the newsletter is a quarterly update of the latest, greatest developments in IIIF. So if you've got anything to add to the newsletter, please have a look at Slack or get in contact with Julian. We also have the IIIF event calendar, which kind of highlights IIIF local events, international events, conferences with mentions of IIIF. So if you know of a IIIF event, please do add it to that. And we also support local events, which I'll talk about later. Really pleased to say that this year we've seen a lot of local IIIF events, and these are events organised by you guys, really. We're here to help, and the community outreach group is also a great resource, but it's really been put on by members of the community. So we've had one in Texas, Leipzig, Washington, Norway, Sweden, Switzerland, and really pleased to say one in Brazil. And Sarah, one of the organisers, is here today. And it's fantastic to see the wealth of different events. We've kind of come across the formula that seems to work for these local events if you are interested in hosting one. We have standard intros to IIIF that we can share along with technical intros. It's great if you can involve local presenters, even if they haven't implemented yet and it's still aspirational. And then it's great also to include some experienced implementers. And then in the afternoon, some people have hands-on workshops where they actually get in practice use of installing the image servers and writing manifests, or some others do kind of more laid-back and conference-style discussions. And repeat. So many people have one local event, but it's great to have another local event a couple of years after to see what progress has been made in the community. And if you do run a local event, please add it to the community calendar so we can share it within the community. And finally, just an encouragement, if you haven't already joined IIIF Discuss or Slack, please do. There is a beginners channel if you don't want to ask beginner questions in the main group, although you're more than welcome to. And then join one of the telephone calls. We have fortnightly telephone calls, so one's community and one's technical, or join a IIIF interest group. And also just ask anybody here. I'm sure they'll be more than willing to help. So thank you.